Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am your host, Tom Downey. We're going to break down some rumors, but before we do that, let's break down the Everson Griffen contract. The full details are out. Here's what it is. It's a 1-year, $6 million deal with the Cowboys. There is $3 million in base salary and $3 million in roster bonuses. Now, I've already seen some confusion before, and perfectly understandable there, as to what exactly those roster bonuses mean. Well, with the way that the contracts work in the NFL, and assuming, of course, this is a per-game roster bonus, which I'm pretty sure that it is, but it hasn't been officially verified quite yet. But if it is a per-game roster bonus, that means that almost all of that is going to count on the cap this year for the Dallas Cowboys. So, again, assuming it's a roster bonus per game, you determine likely to be earned or not likely to be earned based on what happened last year. Last year, Everson Griffen played in 15 games. That means he gets 15/16 of that contract. He gets almost all of it. So from the cap hit perspective, he gets he's going to count 5.8 and some change million. If he plays less than that, the Cowboys will get that money back on next year's cap. If he plays all 16 games, they'll add an extra just under $200,000 on the cap next year. So we're going to call it a 1-year, $6 million. It's a little bit less than that, though, for his cap hit, if indeed it is that per-game roster bonus. I think he immediately becomes your number 2 defensive end. I think he slots in right there, and he becomes a, if not week 1 starter in terms of first down, he becomes the guy who gets most of the snaps. That does mean there's an impact for Tyrone Crawford, Gregory, and others, and we'll get to that. But first, if you're fired up that the Cowboys went out, did the aggressive, smart football team thing, and added an edge rusher on the cheap, well, I want you guys to like this video. I am very, very happy the Cowboys went and did this route there. So everyone in the comments, like this video, especially if you didn't watch our breaking news show on it last night when I went live from my house. We broke down for a good 45 minutes, I think a little bit longer than that, everything that we knew on the Everson Griffen signing. When news happens, we will go live for you guys. So if you have not already, today is the day. Subscribe so you don't miss anything on the Dallas Cowboys. All right, rumors time then. First up, is Tyrone Crawford sticking around or not? I'm going to give it 3 stars. And I know many of you are like, cut Crawford. And I get where you're coming from. It's a money thing, right? He has a $9.1 million cap hit. You can save all but $8 million of that. That is a significant amount of money to pay for maybe your number 5 defensive lineman. He's probably your number 3 edge, but he's also probably your number 3 defensive tackle. Now, Crawford is currently on that PUP list, dealing with the double hip surgery, coming back from that. I think he'll be okay for week 1. For Crawford, I would immediately ask him to take a pay cut. I think you have some added leverage right now by having Crawford out, or having Griffen out there for the time being to get everyone to fit on the depth chart. I'm going to put Crawford at defensive tackle. He's going to play both, though, DE and DT. Crawford does the dirty work. He is never going to be a 10-sack guy. He's sometimes barely going to be a 5-sack guy. But he does the type of dirty work things, the non-stat sheet things, that make your defense better. So I say keep him, but have him take a pay cut. But if you can't get him to take the pay cut route, let me know what you guys think. This is going to be the pinned comment on the video. So if you get the ad break here on YouTube, scroll down, go right there to the pinned comment, and cast your votes. K for keep or C for cut. Let's move on now to Randy Gregory. The 2 most popular questions on last night's live show was, is Crawford getting cut? Does this mean the Cowboys know something about Randy Gregory? The truth is, we're still right here with Randy Gregory. I don't know what's going to happen with Randy Gregory. Now, Brian Broaddus and Jeff Kavanaugh had some updates here, namely that Gregory's camp thinks he'll get reinstated if he remains patient. And Gregory's patience, especially if you follow him on Twitter, very clearly is thinned out. It is like James Yoder's hair. It's just not really there anymore. It's just not great. The Cowboys simply can't bank on him playing this year. Now, he is up allegedly to 255. So I think he's doing all the right things to get on the field, but he's caught in this weird position with the Cowboys and with the NFL. Dallas getting Everson Griffen isn't a something that, we think Gregory can't play now. It's the acknowledgement of a situation they faced all offseason. The edge spot's thin. You cannot bank on Randy Gregory. You simply cannot. There's no way you can assume that Gregory plays this year, because we all know what happens when you assume. Now, I think there's still a chance Gregory gets reinstated. So I want you guys in the comments to predict this for me. Will he play in 2020? Type 1 for yes or type 0 for no. And we have asked and mentioned before about going to Cowboys games. If you go to a game this year, you will be required to wear a face mask. There is a bunch of options available at chatsports.com/Cowboys mask. That's chatsports.com/Cowboys mask. They've got individual ones. They got 2-packs, 3-packs, these America-themed ones as well, 4-packs as well. A ridiculous amount of variety and options. So go check it out. That link, by the way, it'll be in the comments and it'll be in the description. Let's go to Logan Ryan right now. I saw Fanside had put this one out. I've seen a lot of questions on it as well. How about signing him? I think it's still 1 star. Now, I will acknowledge the positive side of it first. If Logan Ryan wants to sign the Nickel Roby-Coleman contract, 1 year, barely $1 million, I'm in. Sign me up. Like that's just great value, gives you added depth. Now there's this weird stuff going on around Logan Ryan of his agent's now pushing him that, he's a safety. Oh, he's not a safety. He's barely played safety, even just individual snaps. He's been a nickel corner in the NFL. Now, there is some overlap there, don't get me wrong. He's a pretty solid tackler, and his raw stats, man, they look awesome. 4 forced fumbles, 18 pass breakups, 4 interceptions. There's a lot of big-time plays that Logan Ryan has made. But those are volume statistics. When you take that next step and look at the coverage stats, that's not good. That is not very good. What happened with Logan Ryan is that Logan Ryan wanted $10 million, and no team came close, and now he's kind of left scrambling. So if Logan Ryan is down to come take a depth contract, sign me up, because I'm not convinced that he's really all that much better than your top 5, your top 6 if you include Jordan Lewis, your top 6 options at defensive back. He's not a better safety than Xavier Woods or Clinton Dix because he hasn't played safety. That's not his role. So if you want a safety, go sign Eric Reed. If you want another outside corner option, maybe go sign Drake Kirkpatrick. If Logan Ryan wants to sign super cheap, you guys know I'm always down for that. But for where his asking price has been, for the role he'd fit on the Cowboys, I don't think it really makes much sense. So don't let those ridiculous top 100 ranks fool you from NFL Network. I think Logan maybe corner 3 or 4, and you have 3 of those guys already. So you need another one. I don't think so. I saw a super chat on this one. We were going to bring it up. Dez Bryant. Oh, guys, come on. 1 star. I have to do it again. It's been the same story since the second they drafted CeeDee Lamb. Probably not, but you can't ever truly rule it out. So the NFL is now allowing teams to work out players. So I think you'll see Dez Bryant get a workout with somebody. And that's exactly correct because he's worthy of a workout. Someone should bring him in. And if you're the Cowboys, there's no harm in a workout. And in fact, if you want to do a super cheap 1-year deal, again, there's nothing wrong with that. But you got to think about it from 2 perspectives. Number 1, you're still waiting to see what Dez Bryant can do for you. He hasn't played since 2017. It's been 2 years. 2 years since he's played. What's he going to be like? And what role does he play on the Cowboys? I am not sure what it is. I don't know what the wide receiver 4 role is if you don't have much slot experience and if you're not a special teams guy. So I don't know what you do. Look, again, 1-year deal, no guaranteed money. Okay, sure, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're thinking Dez is going to come back and be Dez of old, Dez of his prime, look, I love Dez. I always will. That's not where we're at right now at this point in his NFL career. Let's talk Dak Prescott then. How about Dak winning NFL MVP? 2 stars. I think it is reasonable to include him in some of the top contenders for the MVP this year, because you need three things to win an NFL MVP. Number one, you got to win games. 8-8 quarterbacks don't win that. That's what happened to Dak last year. Got to have the stats. Dak had the stats last year, especially in the middle part of the year. And you have to, in reality, exceed the expectations assigned to you. Like, if Dak Prescott puts up his best year ever, he'll exceed expectations. He and Mahomes could even put up similar numbers, but if they're similar, they're going to go with the guy who was, lesser regarded entering that season. He's third in the MVP odds. He was in the mix last year before the back end of the season where he didn't play as well. The shoulder acted up and the Cowboys collapsed down the stretch because, well, that's what Jason Garrett teams do. If he puts up 30 touchdowns, almost 5,000 yards, you include the 6 he normally gets on the ground too, the Cowboys win 11 or 12 games, he's going to be in the discussion. Now, I still don't think Dak is the true favorite. That's Mahomes. That's Lamar Jackson. I'll put Wilson in that category as well. So let me know what you think. Give it a percent chance. Assign the odds yourselves here. What's the percent chance that Dak Prescott wins NFL MVP? I think, honestly, anything more than 10% probably isn't very accurate because there are so many players out there. Winston put in his 10. Let me know what you think. Assign a percentage. What are the odds that Dak Prescott can win NFL MVP in 2020? All right, time for me to get mad again. How about trading Joe Looney? How about no, you idiots? This doesn't make any sense for the Cowboys. Shout out Bleacher Report for once again putting up terrible ideas. They put up the list of one player each NFL team should trade, or most likely to be traded, and they're like, Joe Looney, because Tyler Biadasz can take over. They just didn't pay attention to what was said at the Cowboys press conference Wednesday when they said, yeah, Joe Looney's our starting center, more or less. He's getting all the reps with the ones. The thought process is fine of if Tyler Biadasz emerges as a starting center, but that's really not going to happen right now. Joe Looney is super cheap. He is maybe low end, but he is starting caliber. What is more valuable to you? A 6th round pick or a starting center? It's the starting center every single time. I can't believe that this was an idea floated because it just means they're not paying attention to the team that they're actually, writing stuff about. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.